Hi everyone. Someone had asked me on the Facebook Is About You group how to make a design. She had a milk carton that had a lace design on it, and I can't copy it and make it because it belongs to somebody else. So I thought, I'm going to do a tutorial to show you how to make your own. Now on my screen here, you're going to see that there's separate elements here. Each one of these is separate. And this is probably one of the easiest ways to get started. I don't do this as much anymore, but when I first started making elements, this is how I started. And what you do is when you have files from other files, look at them, see what is in them. And these are some of the designs that I have found within other files, and I just take them out. They're stencils that I've used in the past. So I'm going to use these today to put a design together. So the first thing I'm going to do is group everything. I have everything enlarged for you to see it, but now I'm going to kind of shrink things up. So now you have to decide what the work surface of your file is going to be. In today's lesson, I'm going to use a square. So I'm going to hold my shift key down, I'm going to hold my left mouse button down, and I'm going to draw a square and get my arrow back. And what I want to do is take out the color fill, and I'm going to thicken up the lines a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. That's enough right there. And let me see what size this says. I'll hit C to bring up the condense. And this is a 4.823. I'm just going to make this an even 5. So make that 5 in both of the width and height boxes and hit apply. So now I have a 5-inch square, and let's say that that's the work surface that I need to fill. So what I'm going to do now is look at my elements and decide, what do I want to do with these? There's so many different things you can do with them. Like these circles are very cute. They have a more modern look. And let's say I want to put that into the center. I could do something like that. I'm going to group it together, go to my Justify box, and make sure that it's fully centered. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Let me do that back button because I want you to learn this. This is the black box here that I need because it does horizontal and vertical centering. Okay, so these are all centered here now. So I'm going to take this element and I'm going to hit Alt-D for duplicate. And I'm going to make another one and bring it down here to this corner, but I don't want it this large. To add interest, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to stick that in the corner here. And then I'm going to hit M as in Mary for mirror. And I'm going to go to the right and hit duplicate, apply. And let's take a look. Well, those little circles are going to be getting in the way. So I'm going to try a different way of doing this. That's one way you can do it if you want them to touch. Because what I could do, I'll bring this in closer to show you. Okay, what I could do is click off of here, just click on the one, and using my arrow keys, I can keep bringing them together until the center circle now, this part right here is completely covered. And I'm going to take the color off just to make sure that they're perfectly even, and it looks like they're not. Up, I moved it up. Let me undo that. I just clicked on it, somehow moved it. There, I got the color off, and I'm going to change one of the colors to a different line color just so you can see the difference. Okay, so now what I'm doing is taking this black group here, and I'm going to use my arrow key until it's perfectly on top of the red. There. Okay, so now I'm going to back out of here. And you could see this would start a different kind of pattern, and you can continue to do this over and over in a repeated design, all through this box. But that wasn't what I had in mind, so I'm going to erase this one. We're going to use a different method. I'm going to click on this red. I'm going to right click on my mouse and bring up multiply, and the width between them, I'm going to put it about 0.2 just for starters to see if that's what I like for the spacing that goes left to right. And I'm just going to put one copy just to see what it looks like. I'm going to hit the arrow going to the right and hit OK. I think that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to hit the back button actually. I'm going to do it all over again. Okay, I'm clicking on it. Right mouse button click, hit multiply, arrow to the right. But this time I'm going to try 1/10. Put a 1 in there. I have my arrow going to the right and hit OK. And I like that look better. So I'm going to do the same thing. I group both of them together, and now I only need one of this group. Hit multiply, arrow to the right key, and hit OK. So I kind of like that, and I'm going to group these together and grab everything, and I'm going to hit center again. Whoops, did the wrong one again. I meant to hit this one, center. Okay, so I kind of like that look. So I'm going to take this whole group here, and I'm going to hit Alt-D for duplicate, and holding my Shift key down and my left mouse button, I'm going to slide these up to the top and try to space them about the same. Now what I could do is grab everything together and group it and hit this red button up here to center everything on the page, and that way I can get a better look to see whether or not this truly is about the same distance as this one. But eyeballing it, it looks pretty close to me. And one way to find out if we have it together is I'm going to grab this group here. That's right, I had them all grouped together. Let me ungroup. I'm going to Shape and Break Group. So now I'm going to click on this again, and instead of the C or M for mirror condense, I'm going to hit R for rotate. Well, it's already up, so I guess I just have to click on it. I was trying to show you how to do that. Okay, so for angle, I want it to go the opposite, so I'm going to put a 9 in here for 90 degrees, hit duplicate and apply. And I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to change the color on it also, just so we can see. And you can see that these are not perfectly spaced, and I'm going to see if I can do that. So I'm going to get up close, and I'm going to use my arrow keys to move it up and move it to the left until that corner one matches pretty close. It might not be perfect, and it's probably because I need to mirror it the other way. This may not be actually perfect. So I'm going to hit mirror to the right and see if that'll work now. I don't know that it will, but we'll find out. Click on this, and no, it's just not a perfect match, and there's not much I can do about it. So what I'm going to do is center that top one there, because that's pretty well centered that way. So let me back out a little bit so we can see this close enough, but yet far enough to see everything. And as you can see, this one's really far away now. So what I'm going to do with this is hold my Shift key and my left mouse key and move it up and get in close again, and try to get the black one centered as much as possible. I'll make sure I'm on the black one. There we go. Oh, actually I need to do my red one. I take that back because we got the black one centered with the one up on top. So the red one needs to come down, and it needs to go up to the right probably. No, I'm trying to do that top center. This one right here is what I'm working on, and that looks pretty good too. So again, I'm going to back out. Okay, and now I'm going to take this black one, and I have the mirror up. I'm going to mirror it to the left, duplicate, apply, and click on it again, and hold my Shift key and my left mouse button and move it over, and try to center it as well as possible, as best as possible, on top of both the red at the top and the bottom. So now I need to ungroup it, and I need to get rid of that group and delete it. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Click on it and just deleting it. Same thing with this one. Deleting it And the same thing as this one. As you can see, I mean, sometimes you make these and they are perfectly matched, and other times they're not. So I need to get this particular one here, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to lock it to the base. So this lock down here at the bottom, I'm going to click on that, and if I try to click on it, I can't now. That's going to allow me to grab everything else on here, and I'm going to go to my justification, and I'm going to hit center. After I said I was going to do that, I realized that too is not going to work. What I need to do first is group all of these together. And now, I already know this black frame is centered, so I'm just going to hit center for these. And now they are perfectly aligned around the first one. So I'm going to go down here and unlock it, and I'm going to zoom out. So that's a pretty nice looking design right there. It's a kind of a modern design. And to show you what it would all look like, I'm going to group all of this together, and I'm going to go to this little lockdown here. It says group with transparency, and click on that. Up, because it's telling me, warning, images, groups, and elements with transparent shadows cannot be included in transparency groups. The reason is I need to unlock this. See, these down here are locked. So that one isn't. This one, oh, I don't know. Let me try again. And it's saying that it isn't. How strange is that? Let me try it again. There, that time it worked. But for some reason, let's fill this with color and see what we get. Oh, it darkened the lines. So let me thin out the lines. And there, that is what you would have as a finished project that you could put like on a box or what have you, or include, like put this in the center of your box. Because actually, if you were making this, I'm going to break the group and click on this outer one. That would not be included. You would only take this and click this into your box design so that these holes are cut right out of your box or your luminary or whatever it is that you're making. I just put this in just so that you could see the effect. And I want to make sure that I do this again and pick a different color. How strange is that again? Oh, because I had them together. That's what was wrong. I had them grouped. Okay, let's try that again. Huh. Break group. Let me try my refresh button. This is so strange. I wonder if I have duplicates in here someplace. Sometimes that will happen. I'm going to break group. I'm going to grab all this together, go up to shape, path cleaning, and erase duplicate path. And I did. So I'm going to hit OK, and it should be OK now. So now I should be able to hit transparency. Do that again, hit transparency, and I did it again. Break the whole group. I'm glad it's kind of happening though, because it lets you see that you're not the only ones that this happens to. Sometimes when we're, see, it's still grouped together. Break group. Let me make sure these are all broken in here. They should be when I did that. Yeah, huh. I'm going to do that again just to make sure that it did clean. Path cleaning, erase duplicate. I've got a 1, so there are no duplicates in there now. And for some reason, it's not doing what I needed to do. It did it the first time, but now it's not. And I'm not sure what I'm doing. That's wrong. I don't know if something is broken or what. But let me just try filling this to see what happens. And I can see that there's different colors in here. Go to wireframe. Nope. How strange is that? Sometimes I'll find duplicates, like when you're messing with things. Sometimes you'll get a duplicate in there. And it's still doing it. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but you saw it worked the first time. But this would be the design, and you really do not need that box anyway, although it should work. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it's not working. Break group. That is so odd. And I didn't even... there was a duplicate box. That's what was going on. I knew there had to be something going on there. Now let me hit transparency, and there we are. We're back again. Yay! So I'm kind of glad that happened so that you could see what to do. And I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to do a part 2. So I hope this has been helpful.